It's the Kool-Aid Man!
Alright, we have Jeremy Davis's 2006. It's a 2.5 puller, has a Stom 2.5 charger, 200% injectors, and 2 stock CP3s. Last time he was here in 2017, he made 970 horsepower with a different turbo. Now that he has this turbo on, he just wants to make sure he's still in the same power range, maybe see if we can squeeze a little bit more out of it. So we'll get to adjusting the tune and go from there. Alright, so I did a pull, and looking at the data log, rail is dropping to 14,000 PSI. So we are trying to diagnose why it's doing that. I'm taking a look at the rail pressure relief valve, see if it's a stock one, aftermarket one, a plug, just trying to figure out what's going on. So we'll have a few things that we need to go through and check and see if we can't get it fixed. That last run, as you saw, there was a bright electric flash. We were trying to figure out what was going on. The alternator wire came loose, so that's another thing that we'll need to fix before we do the next run. Alright, so we fixed the rail pressure issue, put an extra G 2200 bar relief valve in it. With rail dropping, it was making 620 horsepower. Just by simply changing the relief valve and the truck being able to hold rail pressure, it made 800 horsepower on the same tune-up. So that was 180 horsepower just by fixing the rail pressure issue. And then we turned it up to the max effort tune, and it made 865 horsepower. It's about 100 horsepower less than what he made last time he was here. It's got a different turbo on it, and we also were looking at the turbo, and it looks like the last pull he was at, something went through the turbo and it's got some big nicks in it. We're not sure how much power that'll rob, but as far as tuning goes, there's not much else that we can do unless he changes turbo. Obviously he's going to get that turbo wheel fixed and go pulling, so we'll get him off the dyno and send him on the way. Alright, we have Rob King's beautiful 2006 Mega Cab on the dyno. It's a 48 truck, has a single 476 8710 turbo on it, with S&S 150% injectors and a single 12 mil CP3. We'll flash a tune in it and see what kind of power we can get out of it. Alright, so we got a tune flashed into it, and first pull on tune 3 at 1800 US made 1073 horsepower. We went to tune 4, which was 2000 US, and it made 1136 horsepower, and then max effort tune was 1168 horsepower. On the very last pull, we had a coolant leak. Looks like it's coming from behind the fan shroud bracket or the fan hub bracket. So it's either, we're hoping it's just push the freeze plug out in the front. So we will probably get it apart and see what we can do, see what we can find, and we'll try to get it fixed and send them on the way.
Alright, so we got the truck off the dyno. We pulled the fan clutch and the fan shroud off, and we figured out the front freeze plug, this little guy right here, blown off. So we got a billet option that we're going back together with to avoid future issues of the freeze plug coming apart.
Alright, we have Dylan Fry, hold on, I always do alright. We have Dylan Fry's 99 5-speed truck on the dyno. It has BD Super B compound turbos, which I think is a 58 mil with a on the manifold and a 66 as the atmosphere. And then he has 150 horsepower injectors and a fast 150 with an edge juice with attitude. So he just wants to see what kind of power it makes, so we'll make a couple of runs and see how much we can get out of it. So we ran Dylan's truck a few times. He wanted to see what power it made at the stock level or on the stock setting, and that was 364 horsepower. And then he wanted to see settings 3, 4, and 5. Setting 3 made 470, setting 4 made 491, and setting 5 made 511. He's happy with the numbers, gives him something to go off of, and we'll get him off the dyno and send him on the way.